Team squad. Great bike.
I went off into the ditch. What's up, everybody? This is another race analysis with Newtype Cycling. My name is Jared.
And my name's Spencer.
We are at the Hincapie Crit down here in South Hill, Rock Carolina. What?
At the where?
Rock Hill, South Carolina. You're checking out some of the footage from the first day. It dumped on us, man, and they still made us race. I don't know why. I was terrified. Just look at this downpour. It's a tsunami. What do you think,
were
Spencer?
Cussing coming up the hill here, and I was like, "What is he doing?" I thought you would be excited about it,
dude. It was so metal. Probably one of the most metal things I've done in a while. It's a 2-day crit series. You guys have seen this track before with us. It's our home track, so we were really excited. This is one of the few crit series that pays money, and this is footage from day 2, and it's going to be a good time, man. This is coming up into the first lap. This is what our team kit looks like this year. It's going to be a teal with a little bit of gold and black in the front. Here's Spencer right in front of us. Here's a good example of that. Spencer, we're coming in the first lap. I noticed, I was watching your power and just doing an overview, and you pumped out 700 watts twice.
Oh, we're getting right into it. You're calling me out from the start. I just joined you. I don't know what I'm doing still. Still new to the sport. This is second season racing, so I was just excited to get a second try at this. The first day was not so good for me, so I think I was doing that because I just definitely wanted to stay on somebody's wheel. So I did whatever I could to get on somebody's wheel.
Yeah. No, and that's understandable. Still getting comfortable. This is the first race of the season. The first race. Oh, dude, that dude just went off the grass.
Yeah, I remember that.
What? He did he bring his cross tires? Anyways, so to guys give you a bit of rundown, there was about 60 to 65 people each day. The second day, we were hoping was going to be a little bit more casual, cool, calm, and collected. It was not. There was crashes left and right. We'll get into some of that later on. Just to point out real quick, here's our other teammate Bryce up on the right in the red BCM. And we're on Spencer's cam right now.
Yeah, that was the move I remembered. I just shot that gap. I don't know what I was doing, but I just shot in there just to stay on a wheel again. So it felt like it was getting strung out. It was about to.
Yeah, and so we're about 10 minutes into the race right now, and I believe this is a preem lap. They were giving it for like pizza or something like that. So there's a lot of junior riders in this Cat 4-5 field that we're doing today, and dude, they were hungry for some pizza, dude. And so, yeah, man, it's early in the race. What are you thinking? We're right now, we're probably mid-pack out of the 60 riders.
Yeah, that was probably the first time it felt like everybody was like, oh, we're racing, because it felt much slower than the first day. Obviously, there's a headwind coming up that hill, so able to relax and then power through. So I was feeling pretty comfortable with that. I like it when it slows down.
Cool. Well, this corner is always prone to people being a little sketch. Bike handling skills are, getting used to it. This is the sprint finish. I believe there's going to be a little bit of some carnage coming up here to this pizza sprint.
Oh yeah.
2 riders down. Dude was not having a good time.
Yeah, I saw his face. I was just like, what is happening?
Well, while you put down some watts to catch up to this little break, check out what's happening right behind you and right next to me. Check out this guy's wheel. Does his shoulder check. Oh, takes a digger.
Oh.
Man, back camera. Yeah, so that guy hung out with us, parked next to us on the first day. Super cool guy. He's got a cool dog. I hope he's okay. I think he broke his finger on that tumble. So I end up hoping he's okay. I hope he comes back and tries to race again and gets some more experience and stuff like that. But, I mean, it may not be rule number 1, but it's definitely in the top 5. Don't look back like that. Like that's totally preventable. And what it did is he looked back to his left, and his counterweight or his balance took him to the right. So it's unfortunate. I believe he's okay.
Yeah, there were a lot of people traveling from far away for this race. I was surprised with the high numbers, like 60.
Dude, this money, they paid money for this, man. Of course people are going to show up. And when you put Hincapie on the name, on the billboard, you're going to get everybody coming out of the woodwork. We're moving up into the race. This is about 20 minutes in. I'm feeling pretty good, so we're about halfway. This crit was 40 minutes plus 2 laps. so I thought. We'll get into that a little bit later. But I was feeling good right here. There's a 3-man break off the front, and it's hard to see because we're so far in the pack. But I was like, well, I need to move up and see what's going on and check. And I wanted to pull this move to see what it was going to do and feel like potentially later in the race.
Yeah, you called it as well. You told me you were going, and I didn't think we heard it, but I said no. I said I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
So there you go, up to the front.
Up to the front, coming out of that sweeping right-hander, you're protected by the wind, you're protected by the riders, and it was so casual coming up to the front and getting on the point really quick. It's hard to see. There's one rider up front that we're reeling back in, and there's 2 more riders off the front. I believe they're 15 to 20 seconds up. People say all the time there's never a breakaway in Cat 445. Well, this ain't one of those races.
Yeah, I think both days the same guy got away in a break with several people and held it for a few laps. I think this one he holds it the whole rest of the race.
Yeah. Yep.
Spoiler. Sorry.
There's a break on this. Yeah, and this guy does it. And you can't even see him. Like, there's 2 guys up front, and you can't even see him. One thing that I was not doing a good job at is holding wheels and trying to maintaining the position in the front of the field. And so since this is a downhill, like, I'm not going to put in too much effort. I'll let some of these riders go by me, get a good inside position, take the corner fast. But right here, these guys just hammer.
Yeah, they had to. I mean, cover this break, but I think that slowdown there on that stretch maybe kind of helped the break get away.
Yeah.
But every time, I think the second part of this race, this hill became a place of like taking off instead of coasting down.
Yeah, and you really wanted to be sheltered as much as you could by the wind. When you're taking this left-hand transition, the wind is actually coming hard from your right. And so definitely being on the left side of the track, the majority of the circuit, in my opinion, was the way to go. There may be 1 or 2 like short, 100-yard sections where you're going to be vulnerable, but I liked being on this left side the entire time. So one thing to point out, there are multiple teams, multiple junior rider teams in this, and the leader's jersey is a yellow jersey. I believe he's 3rd wheel right now, and he's with the Mulligan, I believe they're collegiate university or collegiate team. They're wearing like black bibs and a black and orange kit. And so there's a good one right here on our right. That's a Mulligan kit, and they have a teammate who's in the leader's jersey, so they're actually up front the majority of the race doing a lot of the work.
I see another teammate right here.
Yep, so Bryce, we haven't talked much about him, our 3rd teammate on this race. He did a great job all race catching wheels and just maintaining position. I don't think he ever dropped lower than 20th.
Yeah, he had to be in the same spot. Every time I'd see him, he was in the same spot. So.
Yeah, so he did a good job staying on the point of the race and just catching wheels and keeping those. Like, he wouldn't let people take them from him. Obviously, he's a bigger guy looking up right here, so he can be a little intimidating from time to time. But he's pretty cool, man. He joined the team this year. He's done a bunch of different racing, a bunch of different triathlete stuff. So he's got the fitness, he's got the diesel power to hopefully this season give us a good lead out and take advantage of that.
Yeah, that's the goal. I'm still just trying to get fitness up to hang on and do something more than this race.
So right here, it was a little disappointing that everyone went kind of 4 to 5 wide right here and slowed up. It is going to be a little surgery from time to time, but there was no real conscious effort from Mulligan to bring back the break. When they've got 7 guys in the field, like what's the point? Like, you make them work, and they just wouldn't do it.
Yeah. Yeah, and looking at your heart rate, like on that hill, it shouldn't have come down, but it did. And I think that's what helped me, obviously, whenever we'd slow there to recover. But if I'm able to catch back up, that's not good for whoever's trying to catch the break.
Right.
But there were times where it took off and it would get pretty strung out, and the speed would just ramp up. Speaking of speed, do you have anything coming up here? But speaking of speed, this was much faster than our Max Series.
Yep. The normal races that we do at this circuit, obviously, when you have 60 riders compared to 25, that makes sense. Catch that draft so much more, and you can maintain that effort. But right here, they do finally make an effort. I believe we're 32 minutes into the 40-minute plus 2 laps crit, and it starts to get strung out right here, and this is where I get a little bit worried, and I'm like, oh crap, we need to start moving up. Bryce is already up there. He's in good position. We need to go up there and help him. Unfortunately, I don't do a good job at making that happen. A little further into this same lap, this is where it really ramps up.
Yeah, everybody's just getting all over the place.
How are you feeling right here, Spencer? Your heart rate doesn't look bad.
I'm worrying. My heart rate just doesn't get high, and then when it does, it's not a good sign. Yeah, that's kind of what it looked like bunched up. But right here, it was not bunched up. Kind of everybody taking off, and I'm getting a little worried. But I'm still there. I didn't know that this many people were behind me, honestly. So I was kind of feeling like I could catch back on and recover a little bit.
Yeah, when the field gets strung out like that, it makes you look like, oh, I'm in the back, because everyone's going like 2x or single file, and it makes like, oh man, I'm so far back. But with a field of 60, if everyone does that, yeah, you could snake around, a quarter of the track going single file. So right here, everyone's really pounding. Spencer, you're doing some constant watts, and right here, there's a little bit of a gap coming up to this guy in front of you. He's hurting. You can tell he's hurting.
Yeah, and I saw that, and I was too. And then he took up a little bit, and
he puts the effort in, and then he sets up.
Yeah, I was real worried.
And what I yell at you right here, and I go around him.
Go around him.
And
I can't, bro. But he took the charge anyways. And I was like, okay, great. Okay, I got to stay in here. So yeah, 600 watts just to close that little bump. But hey, whoa.
You were drunk right there.
I was feeling it.
You were swerving.
Am I still there? Am I? Oh, this is just to see me getting about to hit him.
Yeah, and this is really where the red flag, the alarms start going off in my head. Where these guys start setting up, you guys start slowing down just a little bit, and that's a pretty big gap. And so I just let you know I'm coming on the inside, and I'm just charging this I'm not missing this break or missing a split in the field.
Nice.
And so I kind of hammer and I coast, and you keep pedaling a little bit. It is super. You're very worried in this point, but you eventually do a good job of just setting back up, getting in the draft, and coasting for a little while. Where as I do the same, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna pedal, coast, and pedal and coast. And this guy in front of me does a great job of just kind of closing this in.
Yeah, I knew it was coming. And then I saw that gap, and I was just like, oh, gosh.
Yeah, and look at all the people behind you right now. I mean, they're 4 wide behind you, and I wish guys, obviously Cat 4-5, everyone's out here learning experience and stuff. If we would have all doubled up or maybe 3-by instead of going everywhere on the track, we would have closed it a lot easier and a lot quicker, where you kind of took the blunt end of that stick, and everyone's just taking advantage of your kind of effort.
Yeah, I probably didn't help either. Probably slowed some people down. But I'm thinking I'm still in this, but that took a lot out of me, that hill. And then closing the previous gap. It's just been constant, and put a little effort in here just to get on the edge. And I think it kept getting strung out and just kept going on this straightaway.
Yeah, I just heard your grunt, your feeling. So.
That's when you know. I think everybody slows down after this lap, so it gets strung out. And
yeah, you barely missed it, man, and it is what it is, dude.
Yeah, I pulled off to the left, didn't want to hurt anybody else.
Yeah,
although I'm sure I did.
Well, about 10 minutes later, we're coming up to 40 minutes, and I'm thinking, coming up to this section, I'm thinking, okay, it's going to be 2 to go, and I'm going to make my move right now to get back up towards the front. So if you see in the rear cam, I'm off the back, just surfing wheels the whole time. Well, I was going to make my move like I did earlier in the race, take this wide outside line, and just tragedy strikes, and riders go down right here. And I should have brought my cross tires for this section of the race.
Oh, there's a little ditch there. Yeah.
And it's just, it rained all day yesterday, and that grass right there is just soaking wet. And a couple guys do good, and they get back on their bike real quick. But, yeah, you see the guys in their rear cams. Dude, you
got to keep that up.
Yo, I don't have my mountain bike shoes on or knobby tires.
Can we pit?
And me not knowing some of the rules, I asked my buddy right here on the left if I can pit, and he says, no, you got to close the gap, and boom, it's the bell lap. I thought it was 2 laps to go, and no, it's the last lap. For some reason, they would only tell us when it was 2 to go. They wouldn't tell us 4 to go, 6 to go, or anything like that. And so I try to motivate these guys, and they're like, hell no.
Yeah, it's over, they said.
So no worries. The breakaway ended up sticking. The gigawatt guy, Aaron, went off the front solo. And yeah, man, till the next time there's another race, and we'll keep it going, man.
Yeah, it's good to be back.
Here's some photos of the weekend.
Hardcore.
Hope you guys enjoy.